we could buy food from anywhere. We don't need to, ooh, goodbye. This probably has a lot of points on it. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, hello, I am Lena. I am stopping shopping in 2019. Well, at least for the first 6 months of it, and then we're gonna have a soul searching reassess. Those of you who watched my first video, all about how I'm stopping, wanted to know the rules by which I am going to govern myself in this new regime, sounding a lot less socialist than I want it to. And you also wanted updates as to how I am doing. Thank you, that's nice, that's kind. In some ways, my instinct is to say, oh my god, it's so piss easy, because a lot of days it feels really easy, and I think mainly because like it's a bloody privileged position to be in, that I could shop in the first place and it hasn't got in the way of most of my day-to-day bodily functions, human needs. Like it's kind of like, in some ways, by doing this task, I realise what a ridiculous task it is. But in other ways, I have had days when I'm like, well, this is worrying. I went to a charity shop, tick on the ethics boxes for me. I saw some secondhand shoes, another big normal tick for me to buy something. They were in my size, they were Doc Martens, they were purple, and it was so hard for me to walk away from them. Like I even tried them on just to flirt with them, just to see, in the hopes that they didn't fit, but they did, and I did walk away from them, but it was super. I was like, the feeling that I needed them in my life, even though I have upwards of 7 pairs of shoes, was fascinating to behold. Other things, like I've been really tempted just to be like, oh, something cheeky, maybe I just won't tell anyone and nobody needs to know. And like that again is like just so childish and weird. And I haven't done that, but like every now and then I'm like, nobody would know though, would they, Lena? I'm also noticing more how many Facebook adverts target me, particularly with clothes and makeup, that I'm like, I guess when you have the possibility of buying it, you either click on it or you go, oh no, I don't fancy that. But like specifically not wanting to think about shopping and buying new things, like that stuff is so much more visible to you. And again, like just the fact that shops are so embedded in our like societies and our like even like the geography of our days, like the amount of shops I pass every day between meetings or like on the way home or in between things, and like the fact that all of the buildings that I want to visit that are about experiences like art or galleries have a shop. So like I go to, I'm going to sound like absolute wanker right now, but I go to the Tate Britain a lot on my lunch hours because I work near there. And the gift shop is there and it's so beautiful, and I didn't realise that I do actually spend probably about 50% of all of my time that I do spend in the Tate Britain in the gift shop. Like, look how beautiful this is, and look how close the gift shop is to all of the art, and I just wanted to be in the gift shop all of the time. Resisting the urge made my lunch hour less stressful because I wasn't standing for half of it in the gift shop being like, should I buy this shawl with a Monet painting on it or not? There was less decision fatigue in my lunch hour from like half of it being shopping rather than just absorbing the free art that is available. And it just made me enjoy the museum a bit more, I think. Like, it's cool to have momentums and do stuff, but I was also just like, I should probably just be giving the money that I buy stuff in the gift shop from just to the art museum so it can stay open for free for everyone. Other people's reaction to me not shopping has been like quite funny. Like, a lot of people have been like, oh, I could never do that. And I'm like, fair, but isn't it weird that we feel like that's something like, I would far rather do this than give up cheese. Like, but maybe that's just something about my moral compass. That's the way my pyramid of needs has assembled itself. But, you know, whatevs. One man's meat is another man's poison, am I right? So yeah, I think that again, like, the shock that people have that I'm just like not shopping. But like, I explained the rules and it's quite reasonable. Okay, let's segue from that. That's how I've experienced the first month. It's been fine, in essence. It make it harder, especially because, like, at the moment I like all the clothes that I own because I have recently bought a lot of stuff. So I'm feeling like my look is fresh, even though I haven't been buying. In 4 months, I might be pretty fucking bored of the stuff that I am wearing, but we'll see. But yeah, it's just the point of it is to stop the shopping behaviours. One of the other behaviours, actually, that I have is, like, loading ASOS. on my computer when I'm really tired, and I'm actually so tired that I probably shouldn't be on a laptop. I should actually be in bed or be reading, but like my brain is so tired that it can't actually move me to my bed and do all the steps that it takes to go to bed. Does anybody else have that? So I like will be late night like loading ASOS just to see what's new, even though I've logged out of my account, and I'm not letting myself do it, as like just like wanting to be on the inside of the brands that you like, to like know what they've got, even though I don't even shop from ASOS that much. It's like, I don't know, it's also kind of like dressing dolls, like it's kind of like imagining, it's an imagination like exercise, I guess, and like imagine what I'd look like in this £400 dress. It's just like one of the ways that I use to imagine and play, and like I can probably do that in other ways. I don't think it's like inherently unhealthy, especially because I'm never gonna buy that stuff, but like it's just like weird. Like I didn't realize that I was just like doing that without thinking. Like just as soon as you press A in my browser, it immediately is like ASOS.com. ASOS. Anyway, my rules. You were very curious about the rules that I have. They're like I'm strict about them in that like people were like, you should have given in for the charity shop Doc Martens. They were a tenner as well, guys. Anyway, but like I didn't feel like I was being faithful to my own like stubbornness. I want to be more stubborn basically as a person, and I felt like giving in to the thing that was the most okay naughty thing to do was still like giving away to my own like promise to myself. So I am being stubborn, but also I think my rules are quite easy to follow. So the categories that I'm not buying are clothes, makeup, general bodily things to look after your body with that are objects and that aren't necessary. Crockery, homeware, plants, it's all covered. Bags, all of that, not happening. The only reason that I'm allowed to buy anything from those categories is if everything in one category of that thing that's important has gone. So if I lose all of my knickers in one of my wild nights out, I'm allowed to buy one pair of knickers. That's fine. If all of my sports bras break under the great weight of my huge breasts, I will be allowed to buy one sports bra. If I run out of all of my foundations, which is gonna be a feat, people, I'm allowed to buy one foundation. You get the idea. But also I like don't want all the stages of my life to be so complicated. So I've got a toner, I've got a moisturiser, I've got a face wash. We don't need a toning face wash. We don't need a night cream moisturising under eye step before the necessaries for for makeup include foundation, eyeliner, mascara, lipstick. I'm allowed one bright lipstick and one neutral lipstick. So if I get below that point, I'm allowed to buy lipstick, but not anything else. Do you get the idea? Them's my rules. If I'm obviously have more than one blusher in my possession, but if I wear them down, I'm allowed to buy one blusher, not like one pink blusher and one peachy blusher. That's not, I'll know if I'm playing the system, basically. I'll know in me. Things that I am allowed to buy. Experiences. I don't really buy any lavish experiences anyway, like afternoon tea, but I am allowed to buy any kind of experience I want. I recently went to see the 1975. It was, apart from I couldn't see a fucking thing, even though everybody in the crowd was 15. That's how low the O2 stage is and how overcrowded that venue is. So, anyway, I'm allowed to buy food out, food in. I'm allowed to do that, especially wanting to encourage myself to buy a healthy thing when I want it, because I will be underspending in other areas, and I think it'd be good to buy more healthy stuff when I'm out. Sometimes I don't buy a salad when I'm out if I'm at a restaurant because I feel like it's a waste, because I'm like, oh, just some lettuce is cheap. That's encouraged. What else? I'm allowed to accept gifts. I'm allowed to spend gift cards as long as I haven't bought the gift card, because that's the kind of trick I would play on myself. The one that I didn't plan for was like, am I allowed to accept free things? Now, obviously on a book buy, but books are included in my list. I'm not allowed to buy books. But I get so many books for free that the reason I shouldn't need to buy books, because I've set myself up in a position in my life where I work in publishing and I'm a book influencer. So I get a lot of books anyway. I'm allowed to buy wait for it. I'm allowed to buy one Kindle book a month if I really want it and I'm going to read it straight away. So in January I bought Normal People on Kindle, and next month I know the book that I will buy if I still want it and will read it straight away. But I feel like with ebooks, I'm not actually using any like extra resources in the world apart from the power it takes to power an ebook, an e-reader. And I don't have the same, it doesn't give me any endorphins to buy an ebook. It's in no way an exciting customer experience. I don't find clicking on a black and white screen and paying £1 and then loading a picture to a screen, it just doesn't give me the buzz. And I don't find it addictive, and I don't overspend in that area at all. So I don't think it's part of the unhealthy behaviours I'm trying to break. But at the same time, I don't need to buy any more ebooks. So that's why the limit is one a month. So am I allowed to accept other things that people send me PR-wise? I have accepted some fair trade clothes that people wanted to send me. I've limited it to 2 things. And if they show up and I like them, I'll tell you about them. But if not, I won't. But I'm not going to make a habit of that, and I don't want to I'm not allowed to reach out to companies and ask for things. I'm going to be very wary of the stuff that I keep if they're sent to me. I don't have a PO box or anything, so companies can't just randomly send me shit. I will accept those in very limited quantities as long as I know that I'm not using it as a replacement for shopping, if that makes sense. The final part of this video is my relationship with loyalty cards. Corporate personhood. Have you heard that phrase before? It's the recent, in the scale of like the existence of all humanity, law that makes companies have the same human rights as people. And I think without going too much into it, partly because I don't want to, I know we don't have time, and partly because I don't understand enough about that to make a whole video about it, the status of corporate personhood and its relationship to our integration with capitalism and how natural it is to us, like the cell that capitalism is they're a natural state that humans should live in, and that is our instinct. And part of that being the idea of companies as people, companies as friends, companies as loyal to you, companies that as people that will look after you both as employees and consumers. Is just a bit fucked to me. And I was recently thinking about this concept of loyalty cards, because a couple of months ago actually I put away most of my loyalty cards. I didn't get rid of them, put them away, stopped taking them out with me, and it made me shop less because I wasn't like, oh, I've got to go to Boots and collect some points. Like, the points were being given to me rather than earned. To me, there is this worrying use of language, and like, I guess, like, call me an English student, but I do think language is important, and it does change your biochemistry and like changes how you feel about a concept just by using the right word. And the word loyalty to me is reserved. It's quite like it's a private, domestic, personal, strong word to describe the link between two people, actual human with the flesh on them, the people, and not a word to describe how you should feel about any kind of company that you don't have some kind of ownership of, control of, or share in. The world is such that a lot of us work for big corporate companies that are owned by shareholders, which is totally fine, and there's amazing parts within those companies you can work for, make friends, lay roots, enjoy stuff, invest in them, like go hard on serving the causes that they serve. But at the end of the day, a company isn't your friend. A company is a company because it has profit and its own interests at heart, and it will, and repeatedly throughout all of my peers' lives, has screwed them over, and that's not okay, but okay because that's what you should be prepared for. This is getting quite dark, but like that's always going to be a possibility in a company run by shareholders and ran by people who are capitalists. It should never instill the same loyalty that you have for another human. You can trust your manager, you can trust your team, there's lots of stuff around it that is healthy, but I think like the general idea, especially like when it comes to HR and the language that they use towards employees, in a lot of companies is like worrying to me. Like the idea of like appraisal being a friendly chat, employee brainstorms that employ language around democracy in a company that doesn't employ any kind of democracy. Being able to make suggestions is nice, but it's not democracy. I don't know. I think like we are using strong terms like loyalty towards companies who have not earned it in the same way that your inherent humanity can earn it. All that a company has done to earn your loyalty is to consistently make products that you quite like, and it has sold you those profits in exchange for money, which is a totally fine consensual experience, but it's not friendship and it's not loyalty. So the idea of a loyalty card is that the shops want to thank you for being a loyal customer by giving you points or a discount or something like that. But like it's supposed to mimic, I guess, the idea of you knowing the local butcher and the local milkman, and then them every now and then like giving you a bit of meat because they like you and you give them meat. What? But what in reality for me, I don't know about you, but it's trained me into being obedient to these companies, and when they have sales on, I let them email me, and then I come back and I buy more stuff that I don't need from them, and they know that that's why. Especially like my Boots and Superdrug cards, these have been my downfall for years, especially when they have like triple point rewards at Boots days where you get like 3 times the amount of points you would. I used to go in and buy stuff just to get the points, but the points aren't prizes. The points is just money. So if I spend £30 I don't want, so if I go, it's 4 points a pound in Boots, right? So if I go in and I want to build up some points on my card, I spend £10, it's 4 points a pound, so I get 40 points, which are claimable against pennies, so I get 40p on my card, but somehow I feel like I've won because is this a great scam? This is genius. I feel like I've won because they've sold me something I wouldn't have bought anyway, and instead of me paying £10 for it, I get £9.60 for it. But also, it's not off that product, it's off the next product I buy. So now I'm in another loop where I've got the points and I have to go in again to buy something else that I don't need. And I have a wallet full of, I used to have a wallet full of these like loyalty cards that I'd carry around, make my bag really big. And I'll be the person in the queue like, sorry, just give me a second, trying to find my loyalty card. I've decided that while it might make sense for you to own a loyalty card for something that you use every day, for something that is a necessity that you genuinely buy anyway, maybe like food, like other loyalty cards are making me personally spend more than I would anyway and give me an unhealthy, especially when I am like tired of making decisions and I'm making a snap decision, I go back to like animal mode and I'm like, oh, I'll go to Starbucks because I've got a Starbucks card and I want to get some points, rather than picking what coffee shop I want to go to practically in the moment. So I'm going to be snipping up these cards right now in front of you. Here's the Starbucks one. I also haven't looked up how many points I have left on these, and I haven't spent the points. It felt against the idea of cutting up the cards to first make them worthless. It doesn't hurt if they don't mean something. Okay, here we go. Oh, no more Starbucks card. Doesn't mean I might get a Starbucks every now and then, but I'm not gonna. Here's my burrito. Now, the burrito card does have quite a lot of stuff. Fuck. This feels like more painful than it should. Here we go. Odeon Premier card. I don't even want to go to the Odeon anymore. Goodbye. Fucking no. Eyebrow thread stamps. I'm just gonna stop it. IKEA family card. Actually, it does get you free hot chocolates when you go to... How often do I go to IKEA though? Never. It's gone. It's too late. More coffee shop cards that I don't really go to that much. But maybe it would make me go to it if I kept these. And I don't want that to be my decision. Oh dear. And also, I don't want to let my love of books be the exception here. I am cutting up my foyalty card for foils and my Waterstones card. Now, if they made like an independent bookshop one, I probably would have that. But while I like these companies, they're not always in line with everything I agree with, especially because like, love you Waterstones, but you bought foils now. So Waterstones is owned by Foils, which is fine, but it means they're both owned by shareholders outside of the UK, and they're not independent bookshops, who are my fave. We know this. So I'm going to cut them up, not because I'm not going to shop at them ever again, but because I don't want to feel the kind of customer loyalty that I think is unhealthy because these companies aren't humans. Gone. Oh my god, that was this is real, man. This is big and real. The Tesco club card. Oh, okay. Whew. Do you have to be loyal to Tesco? We can go anywhere. We can buy. We can buy food from anywhere. You don't need to. Woo! And then these two are the biggest ones. The only time that a Boots loyalty card has served me well was when I was at university, and I'd saved so many points on it. And I kept them because I knew I was at university. And when I ran out of genuine food money towards the end of term, I used to buy Boots meal deals with my loyalty points. And it actually gave me some free food, which is great. But I'm no longer that person. Let's not. It's over, Boots. And Superdrug. Which is useful because it also acts as a mirror, which I quite like. But no. This probably has a lot of points on it. No, I don't want to buy any more from Superdrug. Oh, fucking. This one's particularly dystopian because it's reflecting my own face back at me as I cut it. Yeah! Okay, I feel great. There's quite a lot of mess on the floor, but... I don't know why that's made me feel weird. It's weirdly powerful, but also a little bit sad. How do you feel about loyalty cards? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video and you want to support the channel, you can like this video, you can share it, you can subscribe, you can tell a friend, or if you want to be a real pal and help fund this channel that is apparently about poetry, art and commentaries on capitalism, you can become a member of the Gumption Club. I'll leave a link in the description to my Patreon page where you can do that. Tell me if you are trying to stop shopping and how you're getting on with it in the comments below. Tell me if I'm being oversensitive about this loyalty card thing. Did I think too hard about it? Is it not that complicated? Am I just being a dick? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in my next one. Frog Snug out.